Hi, and welcome to This Is My Architecture. I'm Dave, and I'm here with Kevin from NetApp. What's NetApp do?
Hi, Dave. Well, NetApp is an enterprise data management company, and we've been doing that for roughly 25 years, helping customers with their on-premises needs, and now we're actually in the cloud.
So you guys have learned a lot along the way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we've kind of got a diagram here. I see a lot of disk, a lot of things going on. Tell me, how do I get NetApp in the cloud? How do I do OnTap cloud?
Well, there's a couple of different purchasing models, but we'll skip that for now.
Okay.
But basically, there's two pieces. There's OnTap Cloud itself, which is an AMI. We also have Cloud Manager, which is a very intuitive user interface that makes it real easy to automate the deployment of all the resources and do the configuration of the OnTap Cloud system.
Okay, so I have that AMI and then kind of unfolds into all this architecture for me? Is that how it works?
Pretty much, pretty much. So once you have Cloud Manager in your account, it basically automates everything. It'll let you choose the type of OnTap Cloud system you want. You can deploy the EC2 instance and select the type that you want. And also deploys the EBS disks for our data aggregate. It'll configure all the network interfaces, configure the routing if you're doing a multi-AZ HA deployment, all of that.
Okay, so it makes all the good stuff easy, right?
Exactly.
And I noticed an S3 bucket over here. Like, can I tier things to S3 too?
You can now.
Okay.
So that's something that we've just added.
Awesome. And so like, give me an example. Like, say I put like 40 gigs out there. Like, how much of that lands on S3? Okay,
great. So what that would be kind of a snap mirror replication or snap vault from an OnTap system. Doesn't matter if it's OnTap Cloud or maybe something on premises. So you basically say, that's my source. And you can go ahead and click and drag with Cloud Manager to say, that's my destination for the OnTap Cloud system. And what will happen is that 40 gig will come through. It'll bypass, it'll do a flyby effectively of what we'll call the performance tier, that's the EBS disk, and go through that and then go directly into the S3 tier or the capacity tier. And your set of capacities, I'll just say roughly 39.5 will go over to S3 and half a gig of metadata will stay on the performance tier.
Ooh, that's sweet. Yeah. So, so say that, this is a great DR system, right? You know, and as we know, like the D stands for disaster. What if like the unthinkable happens? Like, how do I get it back? Okay,
so that's a great question, and it's actually very easy. What will happen is when we do the snap mirror, that's putting that volume into what we call a DP or data protection mode. So if we want to get it into a read-write mode, we just simply break the mirror. It immediately becomes read-write, and the data is available to be pulled back into the performance tier when it's accessed. So if you end up reading it, copying it, cloning it, whatever, that only the data that's being accessed is going to be pulled from the capacity tier over to the performance tier.
So talk to me about how we do tiering with this.
Excellent. So we actually have a few different policies. One is none. So you don't actually do any tiering, but why would you do that?
Yeah, why buy a cow if you don't want any milk, right?
Maybe lactose intolerant, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
The other one is snapshots, and the other one is backup policy. The one that we talked about for snap mirroring from an OnTap system over to OnTap Cloud, that's really the backup policy. It'll actually put the metadata onto the performance tier, put the bulk of the data onto the capacity tier. Now with snapshots, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a background process. What will happen is the active file system, when we go through and take those point-in-time snapshots, some of those blocks are locked. And we'll go through and identify if they're cold or not, if they're still being accessed by the file system. Well, if they're being cold, we'll go through an algorithm in roughly 48 hours, don't quote me, but roughly 48 hours, they'll be identified as ready to tier. And once we get enough of them, we'll package those up into 4 meg block sizes and then push them over into the capacity tier. So after a time, if you're actually monitoring it, you'll actually see the size of the performance tier reduce and the size of the capacity tier increase over time.
Well, that's great. Yeah. So better, faster, cheaper, all in the cloud?
Exactly.
All with NetApp OnTap.
Excellent.
Kevin, thanks for coming out and telling us all about what you can do with NetApp.
Thank you. Yes.
And thanks for watching This Is My Architecture.